guess what day it is? It is somewhat get the motor ready day. Man, had box come in from Summit. Got ourselves some rings and rod bearings, and have already, I don't even know why, I'm not a morning person, but boy, I hopped up bright and early this morning and I started at it. I have already I checked the ring in gap and talked to Brent, talked to my brother-in-law Cliff, because we were talking about opening up ring gap. Well, we're good on that. Top ring come in at about 24, second ring 018. So we've got rings on all of the pistons. That is ready to go. I'm still waiting on the main bearings, which should be here hopefully today. So it's time to put in our comp camshaft. This is the camshaft that we had in the Charger motor that we burned up. And this thing, I'm cheating. I'm looking at the cam card because I can't remember. But it is a comp cam that is 632 gross valve lift on the intake, 619 on exhaust. It is 224, 234 at 50 on the duration. And let's see, what is 110 on the intake centerline. So she's a pretty healthy size cam. We can go ahead and get that put in. We can get our lifters stuck in because the lifters are actually held in. They're kind of cool. They go in these little trays. I'll show you this right here right quick. So this is a lifter tray, and you can see it's got a flat spot. Actually, they're in here. They're square on there, and that keeps the lifter straight. And these bad boys just bolt right in there, hold the lifters in place. The lifters can't come out, keeps the wheel straight. So I'm trying to get as much done until the main bearings get here, and that way we can stick the crankshaft in. Again, the Molly rod bearings already came. Get our comp stick put in there, lube it up real good, get it put in. As I showed you in here already, I think I did anyway. Got our lifters have been soaking in oil, cam retainer plate. The top gear, this is actually out of the police car engine. I am not using that. I am using the one out of the first motor that has the limiter in it. So let's get a cam put in. I'll be back. All right, sticking the lifters in here, and I just wanted to show y'all. So this is how those trays work. You can see the lifters have just stuck in again into those flat spots, and they simply just go in there, push them in, bolt right there, torque that bad boy up, boom, real simple. No diagonal bars to go in between the lifters, a tie bar, whatever you want to call it. So that's how that works. Just had to show you that. Cam's in, lifters in. So I keep running out to the shipping box to check and see if we have parts come in. We did get a package in from Summit Racing, and we got another cool thing. I know what this is. I haven't opened it yet, but you can see that it is from Auckland. That's on the other side of the world. So there is a YouTube channel called Picnic Media. Somehow or another we connected through the old interwebs, and their YouTube channel is, well, let's just say their mission in life is to help smoke escape from tires. So they sent me a little something. Let's check it out. All right, let's find out what we got. That thing, freaking tire smoking machine. There's all kinds of goodies in here, but what I am really hunting and excited to see, let me just pull all this out here. There we go. Oh, they sent all kinds of stuff. Some more Picnic Media decals. That is really cool. But this is what I'm talking about. Let me get that open. Okay, that right there is cool. This is the official Picnic Media injector keychain. Pretty freaking awesome. Oh, look, even the throttle opens on it. That is so freaking cool. Love it. Picnic Media injector keychain. Thing's pretty heavy duty too. Check them out, guys. Picnic Media on YouTube, Instagram, and order yourself one of these bad to the bone freaking injector keychains. Awesome. Thanks, Picnic. Crankshaft is in. Kind of went overboard with these nice ARP main studs. Of course, the HEMI's got the side bolts. Crankshaft's in. I've actually put one piston in, and everything so far spins over nicely. We're putting a motor together, y'all. This is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I got to get the rest of the pistons in. I was going to show y'all this this deal. So on the top fuel car, you know, we have a sleeve. Essentially, you put the piston in, poop, shove it in the hole. So I bought this one from Summit, and it covers 3.9 inch to a 4 inch 050 bore. Pretty simple. Got you know, a clamp on it. Just tighten her up, squeeze it, shoot it down in there, and it works for more than one thing. So I started to order one. This is the 3.927 bore standard, but I thought, you know, how often am I going to put rings in it? I hope not very often, but anyway, pretty cool piece. I'm going to get some pistons in, and I'll be back. How about that? Rods and pistons are in. So short block is coming together. Tell you one thing that is different on new engines from back in the day. Like this, you can see how big it is. Rear main seal. And like the HEMI, you've got a little half seal rolls up in there, then another one that goes in the rear main cap, and some side seals. Well, this deal is really cool. So I'm a Felpro gasket guy, have been my whole life. These things just go in there. Boom, boom, done. That's a new seal that come in my Felpro kit. I just can't get over how big this is. I mean, the back of the crankshaft. I mean, yeah, I get it, the flywheel size, but I mean, I'm used to rear main seal like being in the rear cap. Things are a little different than what I'm used to in my old 440 stuff. It's pretty cool, actually. Iggy boy. All right. I say that every time. All right, folks. That seems to be my thing. So, last night, got all the rods and pistons in, and now working on timing this thing. So this looks a little odd to me. Again, new model Gen 3 HEMI stuff's a little different. So what I find odd, let me put some light on that. I think that helps. See those two marks on that timing chain? So if you look, there is a mark on the top gear. So old small block Chevrolets, 440s, you know, back with those engines, you simply put a dot up to the top, dot on the bottom, boom, connect the dots, and you're timed. That's all there is to it. With these motors, again, got the two little marks on there. I put a Sharpie mark, and you can see that mark on the top gear. So it goes straight up. Now, let's look down here at the bottom. Trying to get the camera where you can see it. See the mark on the timing chain? See the dot on the gear? So that goes straight down. That's how you time it. It's got to be right. I looked it up on the internet. That's how they go. And then on the front, I've got a piece of wire stuck in there, but that is a timing tensioner. I pull that piece of wire out. It's spring loaded. It takes the tension out of the chain. Then it's just got to slide over here. My buddy JC's, he's like, man, these things are nothing like what we used to work on. He's kind of right, but he's kind of not, and that's what I told him. I'm like, hey, I'm having fun learning about these things. It's still just an engine. Yes, you might have to look some things up. Yes, this top gear here looks a little odd. But again, this was a variable valve timing engine. Talked about these plenty. They're now deleted. I did not put a delete in there, and I got to be honest, that's something else I need to Google. I don't think I got to delete that, and that is where the oil comes in here when you've got it hooked up where you have variable valve timing. We're not using that. So I've got to finish up the front and put the timing cover on, get the oil pan on. We are getting closer to having a engine put together. Okay, front timing cover's on. Short block all torqued up. I even torqued up the timing cover bolts, and that's something I don't always do. I usually am a feel it kind of, felt it click kind of thing. But I wanted to show y'all something that's pretty cool. So this is a windage tray from Velpro. But what's really cool, race cars like windage trays, essentially what it does is the oil in the oil pan, it keeps the crank from stirring it up and slinging it everywhere, and these things make power. But what's really cool about this is absolutely stock factory windage tray. So they just, they simply go on there, and oil pan's obviously here. When it's flipped over the other way, the oil lays in the pan, crank spinning, and it doesn't stir it up. Those make power. But what I think is really cool is that is a stock piece. So this is how this goes. There's the oil pump pickup, just simply goes in the oil pump, which I still think is kind of crazy, the way the oil pump is mounted to the crank like that. Cool piece though. Gaskets built in on the Velpro windage tray. And I don't even know if you really call it a windage tray because it is your oil pan gasket, etc. I like it. It's pretty cool. It's a neat deal. No gaskets to mess with. They're built into the windage tray. I like that. I have officially got a mess going. Man, I got a mess going. Kind of hate that when I got a mess going. But what I do have going is our Arrington Performance CNC ported heads. Yes, they're beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Dug out the old torque sequence from when we did the first engine, and getting ready for cylinder head number 2. Got our Velpro gasket on. Front cover's on. I still haven't put the balancer on. Oil pan's on. I am quite enjoying this. Feel like I'm really learning a whole lot. Again, it's not the first time I've put heads on one of these things, but it's like you learn. You just kind of keep doing things over and over, and it gets a little more simple. The last time I did this, I put this cylinder head on that side, and it does not work. I remembered it because the power steering bracket actually bolts on here, so I remembered that, got that right. Man, would you just look how cool the ports are on these things? They're freaking awesome. Freaking beautiful. Let's just hope we can make this motor run a little longer than the last one, even though it is our Junkyard dingle ball honed engine. All right. Oh, I know what I turned the camera on for. So I have put the torque sequence on this head down to the point to where now what you do is, it's 2 settings. There's 25 and 40 on the big bolts and 15 and verify it on the little bolts that are in here. And now what you do is you torque 90 degrees. It's not a number. This is the torque to yield, which I've talked about in some of the other videos. It is a one-time use bolt. I used ARP in the mains and the rods, and I actually got some ARP head studs. And the reason I didn't use the studs is, especially the driver's side, you can't take the cylinder head off in the truck. Well, what if we burn a head gasket up and I don't want to pull the engine out? So I got a set of, what did I get? Of course you know what I got. I got Felpro torque to yield, one-time use bolts. Again, I'm fixing to start that process now. It is a 90-degree turn, and that's it. Torque to yield, one-time use. Whew. I'm almost to the point I got to put all my tools away so I can stand it. Something in me, it's like every now and then it hits me like I got to stop. I know I got to get the tools right back out. And I'm almost to that point. Stop and start again. Anyway, I'm going to get this head torqued on. How about that? Cylinder heads are on. Finished dressing the front. Then I've got to come around here to the rear. And I've got to put a pilot bearing in the rear of the crankshaft because we have the 6-speed Silver Sport. Got to get that done. The other thing we got to do, I've been trying to decide how to do it. So I have left the Silver Sport 6-speed in here and our bell housing, which is a quick time. I've left that all in here. But what we have to do is center up that opening in the bell housing with the center line of the crankshaft. If you go way back when we did Baby D to begin with, you can see that video, but if you hang around, you'll get to see it again. That has got to be a decision made. How I'm going to do that? I think I'm just going to pull motor. Motor's out, guys. It's sitting right there. I think I'll just pull it all out, pull the bell housing off, and do the instructions from Silver Sport. Were pretty good on it. You just take a dial indicator, and you spin the crank around, and you make sure it's centered up. So, got to get to that. Anyway, rambling. Oh, one other quick thing. So this is what I use to get my 90 degrees with. So I've done it, so I'm not going to demonstrate. So obviously you put, whatever. I actually used a torque wrench I had turned up to about 200 pounds, which is not what these heads torque to. So you simply put this on the bolt. It's got a little rod here. Put it up against something where it can't move. You dial this to 0. And in our case, we had to go to 90 degrees. So when you turn it, it just rotates, spin it around, boom, 90 degrees. Torque to yield. So heads are on. We're moving forward. What is that, Millie girl? Huh? What is it? Leave it alone. Let's let him go free. Let's let him go free. Big old earthworm. Bigot.